no matter which books you read, what I'm going to talk about today will probably resonate with you, because climbing, in a sense, is for us as humans attempting to defy gravity. You know, somebody said when somebody falls out of a 97th floor building, they don't defy the law of gravity, they confirm it. Gravity is what holds us back. We live on a planet, like it or not, with all the centrifugal force that goes around because we're constantly spinning, that everything is so much easier to sit than it is to stand. Have you noticed? Okay, everybody stand up. Come on, let's defy gravity. All right, now just before we start, because we're going to be talking about climbing, and I'm not going to make you climb all the steps. I was thinking about doing it, but I'm not going to be mean. But what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you do have something in your hand, hold on to it, because all we're going to do is just have an imaginary rope that we're going to be grabbing. Just everybody reach up, step on your tippy toes, go up, because I want you to be awake too, not just Red Bull I'm relying on. Thank you so much for the sponsors. Okay, and as we go up, you want to just go up and say, I can! I can! I can! Okay, now you can sit down. You can do so many things. It's my first time to have the opportunity to speak with your organization this intimately, and I'm happy to do that. I was told I was going to be speaking to 2 people today, so I mean, where did all the rest of you come from? And I know that this organization is a worldwide organization, and I found out that there's been some clubs in the world who've actually organized mountain climbing. Now, I used to live in a country called Malta. Has anybody ever been to Malta before? Heard of it? It's a flat rock, okay? But I used to live in a part of the island which had an elevation of about 126 feet, which is considered a hill. And so I had a guy come to me one day. I said, you know, what's wrong with my TV? I can't get reception. That's because you live on the mountain here. So one person's hill is another person's mountain. But one thing that we want to share, I guess, with the whole mountain climbing thing and the swimming thing is, where do you go? Some of you are in school, some of you graduated, some of you are thinking about a career, some of you are thinking about falling into your mom and dad's vision of who you should be. Some of you are getting inspired on MTV. I know I am. I just love the money those guys are making just to rhyme. I can do that, right? I practice in the back of a taxi. Drives me crazy. So, the biggest thing is, you know, somebody tells me, what do you want to be? I want to be a veterinarian. I love dogs. I love fish. So that's really good. I did a presentation not long ago, and I kind of said, I love asking kids what they want to be when they grow up, because I'm still looking for good ideas myself. Does a 19-year-old child have the ability, and I say child respectfully, okay? I'm your elder. Behave yourself. Does a 19-year-old elder have the navigation, perspective, wisdom, vision, and passion to set one single navigational course forever for the next 45 years? So, I met Savannah, I don't know if she's still here, and I said, if you haven't met this young lady, she's pretty amazing, very young, 15 years old now. It was the 14-year-old CEO last year. And I said, you know, you remind me of somebody with 1,000 straws in their mouth, because you're always learning, you're always hungry, you're always doing something different. And I think that's a really good thing, because if I thought my kids who are 12 years old, I have twins, boy and a girl, she's the boss. What's new? No, I'm not being sexist, that's a reality. And so, if I thought that they were only stuck on one thing, then I would be a little bit concerned. Because life is a kaleidoscope of opportunities. And sometimes we get ourselves into a situation where we think that's really what we want to do, but then we find out there's effort to be made. You know, I thought I wanted to be a MD when I was in school. And then I thought, wow, that's a long mountain to climb, 8 more years, no parties. All I really wanted was a Mercedes. So how much effort are you going to put in to what it is you say that you think that you want to do? And does what you say you want to do, is it really what you want to do, or does that just sound good to your friends and family? It's not easy to find out what you really want. And I heard the law of attraction being bantered about here earlier. You know, there's 7 or 9 universal laws. But one of them, for sure, if you don't know what you really want, what your life's calling is, you might just want to fall asleep right as you're falling asleep before you go into the REM, and that's not the band, that's the rapid eye movement. And just kind of say, you know, I want to know what I really want. I want to know what it is. I want to find my passion. Maybe you haven't found it yet. It's not a bell. It might not be a eureka. It might not be a book in the library or in Kinnikinnick where Ehud sticks all his promotions for open thinking. Have you noticed? Shameless promoter. Got me carrying a rope. But I never like to be tied down to one thing. I think it's good that we are flexible, and that if we do find something that we like, then begin to research it, begin to explore it. And like you said about the swimming, you don't have to go on the deep end, you know. Hang on to the side and move your feet. They call that dancing, by the way. So children will learn from their parents this wonderful thing called walking. And then they learn to run, and then some of them learn to compete. Some of them run away from things. And some people run away from opportunities in their life because they're certainly afraid of possibly failing. So it's easier to take the easy road. You know, my dad, he had a stationery shop. My grandfather before him had a stationery shop. I hate to read. I love music. We don't sell music here. It's my destiny. What can I do? If everything that you wanted to do was just a piece of cake, and it can be done by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, then your name would be Larry. Is there any Larry here, by the way? Yeah, I don't know. You know, I looked up some of the research on this gentleman, Mr. Newton. They had fig Newtons, which is a really nice cookie with sweet dates inside. I used to love those as a kid, dip them in milk. But so this guy had an apple hit him on the head. He goes, wow, I call that an apple. And they said, no, that's gravity. So the point is there anything holding you back? Is there anything holding you down? Because we're using this gravity metaphor. What's holding you down? Well, what's holding me down is my 64 kilos of flesh in my chair. That's right, folks. I only weigh 64 kilos. Figure it out. So what's holding you back? 99% of the people that you ask this question, they will immediately extend an extremity and sharpen the extremity with an index finger, and it goes like this. It's not my fault. You see, you don't understand my situation. I'm different. And because of that, and that situation, and the politics, and the weather, and the economy, and my family, and everybody, that's why. Otherwise, I would try. Really. Seriously. If you take champions, and I'm talking about champions not just in sport, not just in literature, not just in parenting, because there are champions in parenting, there are champion students. If you take the DNA of what it takes to be a champion, what it takes to be a winner, what it takes to be a big thinker, it would be that little blibbit inside the DNA that says, here's what you can't do, and that's removed. You know, I like the organizations that I've had the opportunity to start, to grow. I love young people who come in and have no idea what they can't do. That's one of the reasons I was hiring so many young people a long time ago, is because they came in with all this raw enthusiasm and wonder-eyed excitement and thirst for knowledge and possibilities, and they didn't see the walls that the tenured staff saw. Because sometimes and very often we put those walls in front of us, ourselves. So actually what holds us back is simply us. Our own gravity. Our own unwillingness to climb, because falling and failing pretty much sound the same. And nobody wants to hurt their knee. Because then you have to look like my knee is my baby. It's not fun. And certainly we never want to fail in public, right? So we're going to try something. It's at home. In front of our mirror. Maybe a new hairstyle. I wasn't insinuating. But when there is this passion that you can find, it will be there somewhere. You might not find it today. Maybe you think you already have it. Ask yourself how big it is. In passion, size matters. Big time. Because you can run out of gas really fast. Yeah, I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about that. And then you start to climb up your goal, and pretty soon run out of breath and go, Jesus, I could really use a Big Mac right now. Let's cut it for today. Come on. Kilimanjaro. He'll be here tomorrow. Mount Everest will be here tomorrow. There's no hurry, really. You know, when do you give up? Everybody's seen this slide kicking around Facebook for a couple years, but I love it. Because it's the point. Where do you give up? How do you know when your next strike with a hammer, when your next attack with your persistence and your passion will give you that introduction, that breakthrough, that job, that career, that investor, that relationship, whatever it is you're looking for? How do you know? And how many of us have experienced the bottom part of this slide? Hands up. If you don't, I have police outside. They will arrest you for lying. Yeah, of course we all have felt dejection. I don't want to play. I'm taking my toys and going home. It's no fun. And yet, so close to where that was. Now, I've been involved in business deals where I've seen, millions of dollars on the table, and I've seen a guy or a person or a group who was fighting for that opportunity give up. And all they had to do was just go that little bit farther. And I'm not talking about dropping prices or anything else. I'm talking about continually trying. Continually using effort, driven by passion. Does everything have to be measured in money? Absolutely not. Think about a relationship you have or have had. With a man, woman, goat, or a duck. Doesn't matter. And you wanted to get what you wanted, and they wanted to get what they wanted, and you compromised or gave up, or you didn't. And you discovered if you held on, a lot of times you got something to your surprise. Yes? Shuhada. So persistence is a friend. It's a friend of passion. It's a friend of determination. It's a friend of having the ability to overcome this thing called gravity, which we have to climb out of every single day. And you know some of the toughest mountains you ever have to climb? Climbing out of your bed in the morning. I don't feel like getting up. Blow off this class. Call my boss, tell him I'm pregnant. But you're a guy. I know. Anything. I don't want to climb. They have so many peaks around the world that you can march off to and be famous. and get your picture taken. I know one guy that climbed the 7 summits. He's pretty amazing. And what drives him? Who knows? Maybe it's fame, maybe it's adventure, maybe it's challenge, maybe it's all the money that he gets from his sponsors. I have no idea. But for this word we're using, peak performance, tongue-in-cheek, where is your peak? Is it a relationship? Would that be cool? Is that what you're looking for? Is it a relationship with an investor? A significant other? A new employer? What are you looking to accomplish? Because if you don't know, then you will not be swimming, as Ehud says, upstream. You'll be floating downstream with all the other riffraff. And you'll just find out, you'll just end up wherever the stream takes you. So yeah, does it take courage? Yes. What is courage? Easy. Being so damn afraid and taking that step forward anyway. And your knees are shaking. That's courage. Have you had that happen before? I've had it happen so many times. Did you ever tell anybody? Never. You keep that to yourself. You don't tell them how much deodorant you have to use. It's none of their business. Courage! Can others help us along the way? Well, sure. How did you get here? How did you get here? I'm not asking about your public transport issues. How did you get here? Somewhere along the line of serendipity in your life, you met someone who met someone who met someone 5, 6, 7 years ago, and you're here. Magic, huh? And you were destined to meet me. So whatever it is you think you want, or whatever it is you want, if there's not, promise you, if there's not a big enough why you want it, you don't want it. It's just a baby wish. Just a baby wish. But if that why is so huge, taller than this screen, that you can actually defend why I want that, what that will mean to me, and when I have that, then I can do this, because that's what I love. You become a cartoon character. Then you're on fire. Then you can melt all the ice of any mountain full of snow. They always say, well, you know, the sky's the limit. The heck with that. Find your passion, find your determination, find the persistence that you'll need, get the tools you need to get there, and you'll find that you will eventually find your wings, because it's not about climbing. It's not about swimming. It's about flying, baby. Thank you very much.